What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today it's time to check out something a bit weird, and as you guys might know, a pretty long time ago, this was removed. Seriously, several Deepwoken weapons were gutted entirely with a giant nerf to their multi-hit crits. In reality, that kinda sucks, but there was one weapon that doesn't really respect this sort of change. Usually, with stack building enchants, it's become impossible in current day Deepwoken to gain multiple stacks off a single multi-hit crit. For example, with an enchant that builds up stacks like Detonation, the Rapier critical was restricted heavily, only applying a single explosion stack on hit. Insanely nerfed from before, this used to instantly build up and pop your entire Detonation stack with an explosion on every single crit. Simple to say, this was very powerful and actually removed in modern day Deepwoken. Every single weapon in game lost its capability to gain more than one enchant stack on a multi-hit crit. Well, except one or maybe two. Surprisingly, it's about time we talk about the Trident Spear alongside the Golden Swordfish. Despite both weapons existing in separate classes of their own, they share the same exact multi-hit crit alongside the same goofy attributes. This critical is a multi-hitting charge that moves the user forward and slashing the target several times. It's pretty good because it does decent damage and acts as a consistent roll catch, but most importantly, this multi-hit attack builds up multiple enchant stacks on hit. That change that we just talked about earlier with daggers and rapiers and their criticals, this does not apply to the Trident Swordfish combo. For some reason, if the entire critical from these weapons land, they apply 4 to 5 stacks instead of just one. I mean, this is pretty crazy, and here's some great examples of what works and what does not. The nerfed Blazing Enchant now requires multiple stacks to charge up its flame activation, and the Trident critical instantly ignites targets. Honestly, it's pretty powerful with this charge itself, since it stun lucks players while they burn and can set up additional combos right after. One of the strongest options with this attack is the Grim Enchant's instant activation on hit. Grim debuffs the target, increasing all damage and posture taken, and for a hard-hitting critical like this, it's probably the most consistent way to apply this status and deal damage. The Seer Enchant works in exactly the same way, maxing out its pen debuff status instantly, granting more damage from any source if you maintain, I guess, perfect health. The Chilling Enchant is also a really great choice because you need several attacks to build up that freezing, and with a critical that will instantly bottom freeze targets on hit. It's one of those setups that locks people into place after a hit, and it's kinda hard to ignore how overpowered this is. And if you're a gambler, the Curse of Yun Shul can activate a maximum of 4 to 5 however many times it hits. You know, it can proc that bonus damage if you're lucky, boosting that output astronomically. Of course, this rarely happens, but it is mathematically possible in Deepwoken. Also, a few other enchants proc multiple times with this charge, but I do think it's funny to mention that Detonation is probably the only one that doesn't. Honestly, I think they saw how it worked on the Rapier and said, nah, that's way too strong, and only excluded that enchant from the crit. Anyway, if you want to mess around with these stack building enchants, there's no better option than the Trident Spear or Golden Swordfish combo. As always, make sure to like and subscribe so we can hit 100k subs, and we're super close. Thanks again, it's punchin' time.